Welcome to Plan Watch Walk, the home of great walking and open honest equipment reviews. Today we are to the east of Kiel Reservoir and the forest, and just to the west of Bellingham. We've hopefully got a reasonably action-packed walk today. We've got a couple of ancient monuments dating back to the Border Reivers times. We've got a trig point, I think we've got a waterfall, and we have got some most beautiful scenery along the way. So before we get any further and see what adventures lie ahead, let's have a look at the routing and the mapping. We start at the North River Tyne and then visit the ruins of Daly Castle and continue to Thornleyburn Common and onward to Black Middens Bastle, and then to Midhopelaw Pike, which is the trig point for the day. And we're dropping down into Charlton before a walk along a dismantled railway line. Well, we just had a cracking drive up and got here, parked up, and we're in the middle of this misty fog, but it's going to burn off. Reason for the misty fog, if I can just show you here. How beautiful is that? And we've got the sheep. So heading on down the road and heading up towards Daly Castle, or the site of. Started a route and we're just heading over the River North Tyne. We can see the mist and fog with the below zero temperatures at the minute, just starting to burn off. And we've got the tranquility of the early morning in March. It's always quite interesting when you're walking and you get the early morning mist and fog, the way it just sits in valleys. So that's where we've come from. You can see the mist and fog. Down by the trees it's starting to pull away. On the headland you've got some, and as you pull round it's beautifully clear. So, centre of picture there we have the remains of Daly Castle. So we're just going to pop down. We need to cross over the stream and then we'll go and have a look at the ruins. So as we come down off the fells and the high point, we picked up a fence along the way. And it says we're going to a bridge over the river. Here's the river. And they are correct. Here's a bridge. There's only half of it in place. So I think the message is, take your time and be careful. See how we do. Here ahead of us we've got the ruins of Daly Castle. If we just pan down here, just read you a bit. So Daly was never really a proper castle originally. It was built by a home guy called David Linley, a Scottish noble, around about 700 years ago, around the 13th century. And it was originally a house, and you can see the cutaway here. It wasn't until the 18th century the 14th century that Daly became more of a castle, and it fell into ruins in the 18th century, and from then the stones from there have built the nearby Daly Castle House and Daly Castle Mill. So let's go up and have a look and see what's left of it. Well, we're up here on the site of Daly Castle. The first thing you notice is the most tremendous view. And all you can hear is the river and the tranquility and the birds. So here's the remains of what is Daly Castle, which was originally, as I say, the farmhouse. I'm just going to pop up on top of the wall to the actual highest point. You can see it has a pretty decent sized footprint. As we leave the ruins of Daly Castle behind us, we're now starting to head across the moors and the fells with the sound of sheep and birds twittering in the background. As we come down off the fells, I don't know if you can hear, but we're being serenaded by song thrushes and curlews. And there ahead of us, just the centre of the screen, I think that is the bridge over the North River Tyne. So beautiful surroundings here. So we've come down, and ahead of us here we have the entrance to the bridge. It's a really grand entrance, and you can just see through to the other side, across the River Tyne North. Just as you're going over, be a little bit careful. There's bits missing. Don't fancy falling through. And can't see it in the video, but the bridge is very, very wobbly. Really nice view there down the Tyne. As we come over the bridge, we turned left. Really nice little trail here. You can hear the birds in the background. And the river just on our left. And for those of you who've watched a few of my walks, you'll know that this is some of the favourite part of my walking. Well, we've come down from the hill, pretty much centre of screen, come down to the farm, across a bridge. Beautiful, beautiful walking, and the scenery is just superb. We're starting to ascend ever so gently. Come to the wee farmhouse here, and then we continue up onto the fells ahead of us. Bit of a dip down and up the other side. The walking along here is just amazingly tranquil. You don't have to climb massive heights to get some fantastic views, and enjoy the walking. Superb. We've left the farm behind us, and the track is well signed. I don't know if you can see it on the gate there. Just come through. And the topography around here, you can hear the water just trickling on through. And there's the next gate, and then we're going to be heading into the woods. So we've got a little bit of trail through the woods just to break it up, which will make it really nice. Sometimes these trails, when you're through woods and get different paths, you can just see ahead where it comes. It can be a bit tricky on the nav, you can easily take the wrong direction. But here we've got a post for our walk. It's always worth checking out the website, the Plan Watch Walk website, because within there you have got all the OS mapping. By clicking on the map, you can just see I'll put an image in place, and by doing that you get all of the GPS mapping straight onto your phone, and away you go. So it's the basic one is free, and the you get an upgrade, but it's not expensive at all. Middle of March, it's getting a bit warm now. Not complaining, just saying. Anyway, we have been following the track. Nice views in the background. We are now heading into the woods. this is where you're going to need your nav, because you have lost all points of reference. Always interesting on your nav, this bit, and I'll let you know how we get on. Well, the trail's going pretty well actually. It's really well defined. Don't know if you can see straight ahead. I'll try and put an arrow in. Top there, that's Midhopelaw Pike. You can just see the trig point on top. So that's our trig point, but before then we need to continue along the track here, and we are going to get to Black Middens Bastle, which is remains, and again it goes back to the border reivers and the great history that's around these parts of Northumberland. So yeah, all going well. Paths are well defined and well marked, which is great. We'll come through the trees over there, and yeah, it's a good path, but it's quite easy to lose it if you're not careful, so be a bit careful around there. What we have come across now, some trees which have just been ripped out of their roots. You tend to forget, to be honest, how strong the wind can be. If you look here, and these are not small trees. Look at the size of this here. And if you have a look just further ahead, there's two trees that have just been ripped off. Three of them have just been ripped off 6 foot from their root ball. The wind can be amazingly ferocious. Well, we've just come down through the forested area, you can just see there, and yeah, it looks alright. How looks can deceive. The amount of fallen trees, and then when the roots are off, there's bogs everywhere, so it's yeah, that is a little bit tricky. But we're back down now onto a forest trail for a short while, and we have beautiful clear skies. As we come along the forestry trail, we've got an area which has been a turning area for gravel at the top there, not sure. And on our right, not signed, but there's a path that leads us down to the right as we're walking along, and I'm pretty sure, looking at the nav, that down here there should be a bridge. I can hear a stream, I can hear lots of birds. There we go, and there's the bridge ahead of us. Isn't it great when a plan comes together? Now come over the bridge, over Tarset Burn. And it's very, very pleasant to see ahead of us there, our path. And there's the route of Tarset Burn. Very, very picturesque. We now need to head up to Black Middens Bastle, which is up to the left of the house. So I assume it's up just to the left of those woods, somewhere up there. See, we've got Black Middens Bastle House, managed by English Heritage. It says here that a lot of farmhouses in the mid-17th century were built due to the Anglo-Scottish borders and subject to intense raiding. These were built basically so you have your livestock on the bottom, and then you have secure living accommodation for family above. So we're going to go up and have a look. So it's just over the mound over here. In the 16th and 17th century they certainly built the structures to last. See, in the eaves, the width of the walls must be nearly 2 feet deep. You can see here the different layers of ground floor, and this is where the cattle, the livestock would live. First floor, got the entrance there, and then the roof. Well, we've got the roof structure as found, so it says. Anyway, let's go upstairs and see what we can find. So we came in the door here, and there's a nice little walkway for us. So if we look down, we can see where the livestock would have been kept. And then we've got see a very good example there of the depth of the wall. Very small windows, probably for battlement reasons, don't know. You've got the structure going up. So, not sure if that was originally a entrance or whether that's was a fireplace of some sort. Top of there, you can see where maybe this has been an exhaust, I'm not sure. Anyway, all very interesting. There's the bastion, and you just see centre of that wall there. That was probably an entrance of some sort back in the day. It's just been bricked up. Just over on the right here is a disused farmhouse. Probably not of the same period. Well, I don't know, maybe it is. I was just looking at the width of the walls. But yeah, so our path, we now leave this behind, and we're going to head over to the farmhouse. You can just see ahead, and our next point is to start doing a little bit of an ascent and get up onto the fells in our trig point. After leaving the Bastille, and we've come along the valley just ahead of us here on a single track road. We've come up by the wall there, and just look at the views we're getting. Aren't they stunning? Anyhow, our route now takes us over in this direction, and then probably somewhere on top of there is our trig point. And then we drop back down. But the views through the valley and around here, just fantastic. If you do this walk, really just keep having a look around, because the views are wonderful. Well, you know you're in the country when you get delayed because they're moving sheep around. Well, we've left the sheep herding behind us, continued up the road, and we've got the sign here, which is slightly canted over, but nevertheless. So we're going to be heading down to the farmhouse. You can see centre of picture, and then we're heading up over the other side onto those fells you can see ahead. So still plenty to look forward to, I reckon. We left the road. I'll try and get an arrow onto that. Past the house we can just see ahead of us, and the backdrop, I don't think it gets much better than this. Just fell walking, just superb. And then centre of screen there, we're going to drop down over the bridge, and then we've got just a little bit of ascent to get up to the farm. But the views are just wonderful. Apart from the stream and bird song, there's nothing going on. Fantastic. What a great day. It's middle of March, and it could be a summer's day. It's tremendous. So here we are, coming up to the trig point at Midhopelaw Pike. You can just see the trig point, just hiding behind the dry wall there. And we are now continuing through a boggy area. We're going to be following the fence, the line of the fence, till we get to the far wall we can see, and then we've got a little lake, and then hopefully we've got a little bit of a waterfall to look forward to. So still plenty of interest. I'll come back when there's more to report. So ahead of us here we have Green Swange, the small lake that I mentioned before. Very picturesque, just sitting in the valley there. So our path takes us to the left of here and continuing past that house and onward. We've got water coming down from the lake, coming down this wee stream here, and you can get through it with a series of small waterfalls cascading through this little wooded dell. Looks rather pretty. We're on the path on the way back now, but the views across the fells here are just wonderful. Sun's starting to get a bit low, but doesn't detract from anything. It's just marvellous, marvellous walking. Well, it gets to that point in the walk where you have a bit of a reflect and think about the walk and what it's been, and there's been a lot to it. Been a lot of different things going on, from ancient monuments to forest walking, getting up on the top. One thing of note, there's a lot of bogs up there, so be prepared with your boots, with these gaiters, but there's a lot of bogs up there. Then came down, then we had that wonderful waterfall, and it's been a very tranquil walk. The weather's helped. Amazingly, if anything, in March a tad too warm, which I never thought I'd hear myself say. And yeah, we've been undertaking some field trials of equipment. I'll put all the logos down the side of all the different equipment. By the time this video's released, all of those equipment reviews will be out in the public domain. So go and have a look at them, go and check them out. And a little bit more to go, so I'll come back to you in a few minutes. The light at this time of night is just superb. See a small fishing lake there. You pan round over the fells and the fields. And we've got our path leading ahead. Probably about a mile or so to go now. The walk today was 15.5 miles long. Highest point was 1,066 feet with a total ascent of 1,683 feet. It took in the regions of 7 hours 20 minutes, and there were some great points of interest. Well, that concludes what's been a fantastic day. So much variation in the walk. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have and you haven't already subscribed, why not join the Plan Watch Walk family and subscribe? It would be great to have you as one of the subscribers on the channel. Lots more to come. As I mentioned before, equipment reviews will be coming out already, and lots more walking. So until the next time, bye for now.